How's everybody doing? I'm feeling good. Woke up this morning, the sun was shining. You know? Yep. So this is a story about the time that my van broke down while I was in Sedona, Arizona. A few months ago, I was out on the West Coast doing the Homeless Romantic Tour. Hip-hop tour all up and down the West Coast. And it ended in Arizona. I had planned to spend like a week in Sedona just to kind of unwind from after the tour and hang out and just enjoy myself because I love Sedona. On the way driving from LA to Arizona, the van started to putter and like backfire, and I was with my friend Larry, who came with me on the tour, and we're like, what is going on? We don't, you know, we're not gonna make it. And it was like in the middle of nowhere, 2 o'clock in the morning, pitch black, desert somewhere, not gonna make it. We pulled over, checked all the fluids, checked everything we could, and it all seemed fine. We didn't know what it was. Kept going, just puttering along down the highway, put. And somehow we made it to Arizona. Made it to the last show, actually. We made it. We had one more show in Tempe, Arizona. So we did that show. And after that show, we went to Sedona, and we barely made it. It was still puttering the whole time. Somehow we made it to Sedona. I didn't know what was wrong with it, but like an idiot, I kept driving around. We left Sedona one night, and we went to the small town of Jerome, Arizona, which is a really cool town. Some of you might be familiar with. It's up on the side of a hill, a mountain thing, just like about an hour, I think, south of Sedona. It was somewhere around there. I forget exactly where it is, but I had heard about it and I wanted to go there, so we went. On the way to Jerome, you have to drive up this mountain, like hill, like straight up. Very steep because it's on the side of the hill. And so it's just puttering still, and when you're going uphill trying to accelerate, it gets worse, and just, I don't know how we made it. We made it to like the entrance of Jerome, parked, stayed there for the night. Woke up, explored around Jerome a little bit. It was a nice view when we woke up, and we were right on the side of the hill, and we were able to see like a really nice view out down, you know, at the bottom of the hill, the mountain, and up to the top was the rest of the city of Jerome. We explored around a little bit, and then we were like, okay, we got to get out of here and at least make it back to Sedona. So we drove away from there. Somehow, once again, made it back to Sedona. At that point, the van was done. We made it. We were able to get to a auto shop and park it there, and we couldn't go anymore. So we left it with them. Yeah, so it turned out that it was bad spark plugs is all it was. But it was completely blown out, and they said they told us they didn't understand how it was still running at all. We were in Sedona, Arizona, and we had to get all the way back to Minnesota. But at that point, we couldn't drive anymore anywhere else. Like, we had to, we were in there. There's no way we could have made it back. So we were, for all intents and purposes, we were broken down in Sedona. It was only bad spark plugs, but still, we would not have been able to make it back. They charged $500 to fix the van in Sedona, Arizona, for some spark plugs, and I think there was like a fuel injector or something like that. One other thing. I know I got ripped off. It was way too expensive, but I didn't really have another option. So I paid the $500, fixed it, and we got back on the road. And luckily, we made it out of there. At that point, we met up with some of my family who were also traveling at the time. Showed them around Sedona, and then went up to the Grand Canyon, which was my second time at the Grand Canyon, and I think like my 5th time in Sedona. So we went to the Grand Canyon, had a great time there, and then drove all the way back to Minnesota and made it back. So I'm going to show you some clips from Sedona, from the trip, from that situation, just to kind of go along with the story. So we are here in Sedona, Arizona, one of the most beautiful places in the country. We're having some car issues. So we're gonna bring the car into a shop to see if we can get it fixed up in time to make it up to Vegas by tonight. And here we are hiking up one of the main little stop-off points right off 89, where you can pull over on the side of the road and hike up here. And this is probably about where I'm gonna stop. This is a good last view to show everybody.
I feel nice, you know, because I finally left the land of ice and snow. I love Minnesota, but it's nice to go, and life's obstacles are tough to plan. I woke up this morning feeling like another man, cause I made it to this wonderful land of sun and sand. It feels like I'm clutching my hand on 100 grand. It feels like I'm touching the hands of 100 fans. It feels like I'm playing at a sold-out show. I'm used to it always being cold out, yo. I'm an independent thinker, you're a sold-out soul. You gotta be persistent, don't doubt your goals. My middle name is Trouble, my first name is Icons. I have the sounds of my God loaded on my iPod. So come on baby, hold my hand as I sing. You ain't gotta worry about a damn thing. You don't really need to worry. I wanna see you smile, all you do is frown. You don't need to be in a hurry. There's no rush, girl, you need to slow down. You don't really need to worry. I wanna see you smile, all you do is frown. You don't need to be in a hurry. There's no rush, man, you need to slow down. You don't need to worry, don't need to be in a hurry. Take it slow, make it last, why you going so fast? I made the song cause I wanted something to give to Arizona. I love Tempe and Mesa, I wanna live in Sedona. Maybe Phoenix or Tucson. I drink until the booze is gone, proving when the music's on. Dude, this is my newest song. Start to dance or move along, give your heart a chance. You don't need to stand there acting tough in your hardest stance. This is crazy, I'm down in AZ, having fun and I'm looking for a lady. I'm looking at the sun like it can save me. Out of bed early today, done being lazy. You don't really need to worry. I wanna see you smile, all you do is frown. You don't need to be in a hurry. Slow down, slow down. You don't need to be in a hurry. There's no rush, man, you need to slow down. You don't need to be in a hurry. There's no rush, girl, you need to slow down. You don't need to be in a hurry. There's no rush, slow down, slow down. Slow down, slow down. Slow down, slow down.
So it was pretty crazy. $500 later, got the van fixed and made it back home. It was a crazy time, but I'm glad we made it through, and there you have it.